Would you drink a Thanksgiving
Miller.
dinner flavored Coors?
Oh my God. Does it exist?
Well, you just said the banquet of beers, so I just thought, like, if they made it taste like a banquet, would you would you drink it?
Is it banquet of beers or bouquet of beers?
Banquet. It's the banquet beer.
A bouquet of beers. Oh, could you imagine getting someone a bouquet of beers?
That sounds great.
That sounds amazing.
But Sam Elliott doesn't say the bouquet of beers. He says, taste of the Rocky Mountains, banquet of beers.
Well, he's got an accent, so it's the bouquet of beers. Welcome to the Part-Time Podcast with full-time friends. This week we're going to be discussing how the Black Plague led to the Catholic Reformation with Martin Luther. Oh, and I'm Addison.
This is Chris, and I'm going to talk about why the Android keyboard is superior to the iOS keyboard.
Whoa, yeah.
Fighting words, dog.
It's superior in every way.
It is.
Well, this is Tim, and I'm going to be discussing how nobody fucking uses Android, so grow up and buy a real fucking phone.
Grow up. What are you, a 13-year-old girl with an Apple?
Yeah.
You know what? I recently switched to an iPhone, and my life has largely remained the same, but I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way every time I have to do anything on the phone. I'm just like, this was easier to do on Android.
Well, you can do like that draggy thing that you Android fags like.
Oh.
Yeah, but it always gets the words wrong, and I always...
Tim, I happen to be
and...
a homosexual, and I find the fag word offensive.
Are you?
Maybe.
Does your wife know?
I tell her all the time. At least she tells me. She's always like, ugh, you're so gay.
Well, she ain't wrong.
Yeah, it's okay now. It's 2020, new year, new Addison.
New year, new me.
Yeah, new year, new me.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm coming out and leaving my whole family.
I want the world to know. Got to let it show.
How'd you spend your New Year's?
Well, thanks to last week's podcast, I happened to stay up till like 2 a.m. watching The Leftovers.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty much hooked. Like I said, I give any show 2 episodes to grab me. This one had me in like 20 minutes tops. I was like, oh, this is some hot shit. I'm in.
Man, I really need
I'm glad you liked it, because season 1 is considered the slower season.
Whoa.
Things get crazier and better in season 2, so
yeah,
hold on to your butts.
It's exciting because I'm like, oh, this part isn't real, and then it's like, yeah, he's right there. I'm like, oh, it is real. Try not to spoil it for our listeners.
I'm gonna have to go. Where do you stream this at?
You know, the usual way to stream things.
So it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it might be on Netflix.
Yeah, cool.
We'll put Addison's Plex invite in the show notes for anyone.
Yeah, I'll invite you to my Plex, and I'll put it on Plex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but cool.
It's like a Netflix for people like me.
Oh, okay. Well, my New Year's Eve, I was planning on hanging out with Addison. We're gonna
have some champagne showers.
And I ended up not feeling all that great and was asleep by 9:30.
Yeah.
Oh,
thanks.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Thanks a lot, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
I was like, I'm gonna buy some alcohol, and then you texted me, and you're like, I'll bring champagne. I was like, you know what? I don't need alcohol. Tim's gonna bring some. And I had a very sober New Year's, thanks to you.
So Addison resorted to have to making and drinking toilet wine.
I just sat there in my office drinking my own spit.
Just terrible. With a frown on your face the whole time.
So I just slept through the new year, missed it all. Woke up the next morning, nothing's changed.
You're like, oh, I feel like I haven't slept since last year.
Insert dad joke is how I woke up. Yeah.
How many times did people say, see you next year, the day before?
See you next decade.
Luckily, I didn't hear it once.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
I thought we were going to have a pretty uneventful New Year's because we were going to like have a thing at our house, but my kid got sick. So we wound up hanging out with my wife's family. It was pretty fun. I lit off some firecrackers and we sprayed all the kids with silly string. So that was fun.
Dang.
They didn't know what was happening because they'd never experienced silly string before.
So you just blew their minds. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
History of silly
so that was pretty great.
History of silly string is pretty crazy.
Is it?
It's not that crazy.
Yes.
They were trying to make a glue and they made silly string and they like left their product at like some toy store or some toy like manufacturer or whatever, and they're like, this is stupid, nobody likes it, and then they called them back and they're like, this is amazing, make more of these.
You should have just stolen the idea.
Yeah,
They could have been millionaires.
oh man,
Now they're just the manufacturers of silly string.
yeah, all that funny money.
Yeah, but we do an East Coast New Year's at my house. So we tell the kids that the ball dropped at 9, so that way we can put them to bed.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, it does drop at 9.
Yes, more lies from the Gilmore house. Cool.
I mean, I guess like yes, technically it does drop at 9 our time. We just tell them it's midnight or whatever, that the New Year has happened. So
should have just done
it's great.
Australian New Year so they could go to bed at like 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah. I wish it worked like
Japan
that.
time, so go to bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did they think that they were a year older after the New Year?
No, my kids aren't dumb.
Huh, they must tick after the wife. Hey,
Oh.
got him.
Boom. Roasted.
Can't believe I come to this every week willingly.
We do kind of give Chris a hard time.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're sitting here together.
Well, he's asking for it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Have you seen
I
his
did.
face?
Oh yeah.
Asking for it.
Yeah. That's
Behind the scenes, I'm sending you text messages saying, please roast me.
Yeah, he's
been
really
too
into
long.
BDSM lately.
Daddy, roast me.
Oh. So, you want to jump into what we're going to get into these topics this week?
Yeah, I got my bathing suit on. I'm ready to get wet.
Ooh. So as you guys know, I've been doing a lot of research, and I think what I've landed on as of late, it's kind of hard to say. You guys are going to be the first people to hear this. Saying it out loud, it's kind of an emotional thing.
Oh God.
We're here for
you. I'm an atheist.
Tim, those people are going to hell.
With all the goats.
I guess I am. Yeah, so I have been reading a lot of books and different research papers.
Well, there's your problem.
Just trying to figure out like where I land on not being like in a religion anymore. And trying to kind of define what that means for me, because I like definitions. I like kind of putting myself into a box, into a category.
Definitely not a millennial.
Yeah, because they've ruined everything.
Yeah, fucking millennials. So as I've been reading this stuff, I guess I thought of myself going into this research more as like agnostic, where I'm like, I don't really know. Maybe there's a higher power. Maybe there's a God, but I don't know what it is. To what I've come to land on just recently is, yeah, God's not real. Never was real. She's just fake, and people are fucking stupid for believing it.
Oh man, an angel just lost its wings, Tim. I hope you feel good about that.
Did a lot of your research involve reading Nietzsche?
Nietzsche?
Nietzsche? Oh my god, I feel stupid now.
Wow.
Because I actually have read like a lot of Nietzsche. It ends with an E. Nietzsche.
No, I'm pretty sure
it's niche.
Nietzsche or Nietzsche.
Well, you would know that.
No,
Nazi.
I think it's just niche. You know, like it's a nuance. It's like a.
Oh, it's niche. You're right. Google just pronounced it for
niche.
Me.
No,
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna click slow now so I can hear it really slow. Niche. That's what it sounds like.
Nitsky.
It's niche.
It was they were referenced a lot in.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
In some of the research papers.
Okay.
So. Yeah, and I guess leading up to that decision, or kind of my thought process, and what I found and what I believed, is as such. So, number one, religion and evolution are just end up being on a lot of opposite ends of the spectrum.
Sure.
And I know that there's a lot of people who like say they're Christian and they're also believe in evolution.
Yeah.
But I think those people are just lying about that. Because I honestly believe it's like, if you like, I didn't do like a crazy deep dive on this. Right. I spent, maybe a few months reading a paper here and there to come to this conclusion.
So you're an armchair atheist.
I'm sitting in an armchair, so
you're a cafeteria atheist. I've heard so much about.
Yeah, so I mean, I just feel like anybody who's done enough research would probably come to a similar conclusion.
You would think so.
Am I totally wrong in that? That like,
I mean, there's people who are like young Earth creationists who go and get like doctorates in geology just so they can be like, well, I have a doctorate in geology and the Bible's right.
Yeah.
So they're highly educated, but they are like fundamentalists to the core.
Yeah. I guess if you're looking at it, I guess it's whatever lens you're looking at things through, you can kind of put things into those boxes.
I knew a guy who had a t-shirt that had the quote from Nietzsche on it that said, God is dead. And then on the back, it said, Nietzsche's dead. And then they attributed that quote to God.
That's like full circle.
Yeah, it convinced me right there on the spot, actually. I was like on the edge and I was like, oh, good point.
So in doing this research, like I said, I'm looking at, evolution versus creation, and they don't really match up. And I am an evolutionist. I believe that, the world is very, very old. That it was.
How old would you say?
At least 6,000.
At least 6,000. No, I mean, we're talking like, hundreds of millions of years. What, the dinosaurs were 65 million years
69 million years
ago.
ago.
Yeah, so we're like at least that old.
Yeah, and I know the Cretaceous was 145 million years ago.
Yeah, so...
Because I looked it up.
Yeah, so we're hundreds of millions of years at minimum, right? Yeah. Like that we can go back and like put
I'd say like life itself, yeah, probably hundreds of millions. I think the Earth itself is like a couple trillion.
Okay, yeah, because if we're looking at, it takes a lot of evolution to get to a big dinosaur.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's, my first point is just, I realize that if I'm going to look at these two and decide which camp I'm in the evolution camp.
Okay.
So then looking deeper into that.
But why can't you just say God did it?
Because I think that's such a cop-out.
It is a cop-out.
Yeah, it's so, yeah, if you're like trying to polarize, where I'm at, I think it's bullshit. It's a cop-out to say, oh, well, it just goes against everything that religion teaches. Religion is very much about, this is our time frame, and it was 7 days, not 7 periods, and this and that, it's just, it's, if you want to look at that and believe that make-believe book, then believe it, and don't try and then like reinterpret it to like make yourself not sound like an idiot.
Well, I'm also pretty sure that the creation story as it sits in Genesis currently is most scholarship on that agrees that it's a mashup of two different creation stories. And so like it's two different religions' origin stories that have then amalgamated into a single origin story when whoever was compiling the story itself was trying to like unify and sort of I don't say rectify, but like trying to make sense of it, because both of their tribes assimilated into each other and now they had to reconcile their beliefs with each other.
Right. So it still didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. It's not supposed to. I mean, because it's like it's made for an entirely different culture, like foreign to our own.
Right. So kind of to that point, I was doing this, research about kind of the evolution of the brain and kind of where we split off from, other great primates, chimpanzees and bonobos. When our brain kind of accelerated to its 1400-ish cc's that we're at now versus, a monkey that's around 700 cc's. Some of the things that came along with that were these these enhanced sensations of being able to, rather than just have the four emotions, we've got, sub emotions. And movies about emojis. So, we were able to have these complex ideas where we became very creative and very inventive, but we wanted to have like a grasp on our origin. And so that's like the way that our simple minds started to put together these origin stories. And so, there's these creations that go way back and, they talk about the flood and all these different cultures, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they do, but it doesn't mean that any of them are any less of just a story.
Well, and I think like humanity and humans as creatures, like once language evolved as a way for us to communicate and like separate us from, the other species of humans that have now found themselves to be extinct because they couldn't adapt like we could. I feel like we are natural storytellers. And so for the long time, like evolution, evolutionarily speaking, like it's been hardwired into us to tell stories because oral tradition is the only way we had to pass knowledge to each other. And so I feel like it's stories like what we find in scripture or just any long-standing story. Like it speaks to a part of us that like we want to give credence to because it's innate inside of all of us to like respond to stories like that.
Right.
Which is kind of why I think we like podcasts so much. And I think if other people gave podcasts like the time of day that they really should, they would realize like how valuable podcasts really are.
Right.
It's because, I mean, you could be listening to a podcast while you're washing dishes or driving to, work, your commute. There's like so much more found time in podcasts that, I mean, you could be learning about so many different things, but instead you're wasting your time listening to us.
Make our crazy claims. And so I think you're right, Chris, that it definitely speaks to something about us. And there's been research done specifically on that, where they look at, okay, how did these things evolve? And it evolves from like this sense of like flight or fight, where, when we kind of decided to break away from that evolutionary something scary or could be scary, so I'm going to get out of the situation, to something is possibly scary, but maybe it's not. It could be totally fine, so I'm going to keep moving forward. That's where these complex emotions started to come, where we kind of needed to find, now let's put a history to things, because we talk about this unknown, because we live way more in the unknown than other species do. When other species are afraid of something, they stay away from it. They don't keep going and pushing forward and kind of exploring where humans do. And I think to make sense of kind of that, what we're doing, of living in this more unknown and kind of scary world, is we try and make ourselves feel better by giving us these, well, if we're good, then Jesus is going to take care of us stories.
I almost wonder if, at one point, us as Homo sapiens were coexisting with like Homo erectus and like the Neanderthals and other subsets of humans. And, we would have had to interact with them in some way. And I almost wonder if it's like this stems out of our way to reconcile the fact that we're alone now because of like, they don't exist anymore. So like, we don't have any cousins, or like, we don't have any other types of humans out there. So like, I wonder if that was a catalyst at all for any of these origin stories, so to speak, because like after a certain period of time, like we were it.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's interesting to think about. And I think that that's something that religion kind of helps to rectify a lot for a lot of people is that death scenario and that kind of loneliness of, well, if all of your familial ties are dead, then what's your tribe?
Yeah. What's your sign?
What's your camp?
What's your sign?
Yeah. So I think that has a lot to do with it, is this, this mentality of needing that kind of tribe mentality. And that kind of leads into kind of the other point of, okay, so I've, decided I'm an evolutionist. Okay, I believe that, these are ways of telling origin stories. So I've kind of checked those two boxes for myself. Now going to the next one is, okay, if I'm going to believe in a religion versus, no religion, I would have to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it that if there were one God, or, there were gods, why is it that there's so many different little subsets that now infight and fight with each other and have raged war with each other over the course of thousands of years, to not have an answer? For there to still be today the question of, is God real?
Yeah.
Or is my God better than your God? Or is my God the real God and yours the fake
That's where I have
God?
good news for you, Tim, because there was a young man around the age of 14 who had that same question.
So in doing that research, I look at all these different ones, and yeah, there's a lot of similarities, but then there's a lot of like totally out there wild shit that goes on in other religions that aren't Judeo-Christian, in origin. And I put kind of Islam in that same realm of, they all kind of sparked around a similar time. They have very similar stories, but then you have stuff that's like totally out there that's, multi-gods and witches, and Wiccan and all this different other religions that have to do with worshiping other gods. It's like, there's just so much out there that for me, if nobody anywhere has an answer, because I feel like it would be universal, then the answer is that it's make-believe and non-existent.
Right. They can't all be right, but they can all be wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the other click. And once I looked at that, and then kind of understanding tribe mentality, and in reading these research papers about songbirds, that they split in very similar points in their evolution, where they're almost identical species, but the only thing different about these two species of birds is the song that they sing.
So you're saying that their hymns are
how
different.
they sound. Right. It's that basically. Yeah. And so you look at that and it's like, okay, well, if they all have the same origin and they're just one little click changed vehemently something about them, that now they don't even breed together. They literally will not, these two species that are practically identical will not breed because they sing a slightly different song.
Yeah. It's called ring species.
Yeah.
And there's a particular bird in like China, Russia, or whatever, that like starts in one point, and as it moves down this geographical area, it like makes this big circle around China and Russia, and by the time it makes its way back to the beginning of the circle, the bird's song has changed so much that they don't even recognize each other, even though they're the same type of bird. So they're not speaking the same language, therefore they can't mate.
So when they started, the bird was a capitalist, and when it came back, it was a communist.
Yeah, and they're like, we're not speaking the same language. We're going different places.
Karl Marx.
I'm into Karl Marx. Aaron Rand. And they're like, you know what? Let's call the whole thing off.
Right. Yeah. So
one says tomato, one says tomato.
Yeah. Then they try and murder each other. Actually, is what happens. Now your species is not as good as mine.
I know how that feels though, because I worked in food service as a part-time job in college, and someone walked in, and they, in all other areas of their speech, sounded just like a regular American, except they said tomato. And it sounded so pretentious that I like literally I had to walk away and have someone else like serve them their food, because I was like, I can't handle this saying tomato. Can I please have some more tomato?
You probably met an alien in real life.
Yeah, it sounded like what an alien would try to sound like to imitate what a human. It's like that guy on Men in Black, where he's like, I need sugar. More. I need tomatoes.
More.
and put some more potatoes on there too.
Yeah.
I've only read the word before.
Your language makes no sense. Yeah, I mean that's kind of my reasoning behind leading up to the decision that I've made to now pronounce myself as an atheist.
Ooh. So what was the thing that you would say convinced you that there might be a God?
I would say that where I'm at right now.
Yeah, no, but before then, I know you don't believe in God now, but before, what kept you hanging on?
I guess before was out of a sense of like if it's not hurting me, what really matters?
Okay.
And just sitting in that like not kind of defining something state for me for so long. I mean, this has been like 6 years that I was kind of in that camp that I just, at one point, I felt like I had to like make a decision and figure it out.
You're sitting on the fence for so long that your butt started hurt.
Yeah. I had that fence post so far up my ass that I was like picking my teeth with the splinters.
Oh my God.
So yeah, and I know that's probably a lot of people will think that that's pretentious, that, or that it's, small-minded of me.
Right.
But I feel like I'm in a pretty good company in that school of thought.
Well, haven't you heard that God is good?
It's
I heard
word.
Bird is the word. Yeah. And the word is the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So God is the bird.
Birds won't even mate with species that are identical if they sing different. So there's no God.
Because even birds are racist. So
yeah, apparently.
Or maybe not racist, but bigoted.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to be white to be racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only white males.
Only seagulls are racist.
And some pigeons.
Yeah, and most penguins.
Yeah, and flamingos outside of captivity.
Yeah, I would actually imagine that most like birds like penguins outside of captivity would be pretty xenophobic.
Yeah. They're like, what's that bird doing? Fucking in the air? What the hell? How does he stay up there?
Yeah, what an idiot. You know that we could like just swim and have unlimited food in this ocean, right? Yeah. But like I said, I feel like I'm in good company with my decision to be, I would say, atheist / naturalist, going more on the like believing in evolution kind of mentality.
Okay.
But you've got, guys like Albert Einstein was an atheist / naturalist.
I think he wasn't an atheist.
He was.
Einstein?
I want to say that he wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember reading a story on Facebook about how
fake news.
A guy kept on dropping a piece of chalk, and he said if God wanted to stop this chalk, he would. And then a guy came down and punched the professor, and that turned out to be a U.S. Marine, and that Marine was Albert Einstein.
You know what? I think I read that.
Where are you going with
that
this?
was the day all those libs got owned.
Yeah, dumb libtards. Yeah, no, he was. He's misquoted, like, people that are like religious. He quoted a lot about like the theory of like a big G God versus like small G God. And so he's like quoted a lot by talking about religion and God in that way, where they'll like cherry pick these ideas out of, you know, things that he said and use it as, well, Einstein believed in God, when he, like, I was just reading a book, Addison, that actually you had given me.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's quoted and he says, like, let me be clear, there is no God.
Yeah.
You know, is where he landed. And to kind of put all those misquotes to bed.
Well, I definitely don't believe someone like Albert Einstein. I mean, what did he know?
Yeah.
Relatively, he knew nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, here till Thursday.
Joke's been on you this whole time, Tim, because this has actually been an intervention. So I'm glad you showed up. It was really brave of you.
Yeah, thanks.
But we're here to tell you about the good word. Specifically the one in the blue book.
Yep, that's right.
Because with their powers combined, we can make Captain Planet.
Yes.
In 1914, God came, and the rapture happened.
We just didn't see it.
Don't believe me? You can ask Charles Taze Russell.
Is that
that's a J-Dub thing?
The King of Ethiopia?
That's a Jehovah's Witness guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, like the Rastafarians believe at that the second coming of Christ already happened. Then it was the King of Ethiopia in like 1878 or something like that.
They got an email offering millions of dollars.
Yeah, no, I'm serious about this. That like that's their belief, is that the second coming has already happened.
Well, he didn't do a great job.
Praise be to Jah. Yeah. And that's why they don't shave or, cut their hair, because Jesus already came. So
why shave?
Yeah, Jesus Christ had dread so shake.
Broke all the razors. He specifically came and he tore them all asunder and then made them into glass.
Yeah.
Glass pipes for them to smoke their marijuana.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how they praise Jah, dude. Choke one out.
So I wasn't planning on talking about this today, but I suppose it reminded me of this thing that I had read about a while ago that we could talk about. It kind of dovetails into what you brought up. Have either of you heard of the concept of a tulpa before?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-uh.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, tulpas are dope.
Like Tulpa? Tulpa?
Tulpa.
Tulpa.
It's originally like a I want to say it's like a Tibetan thing, it exists in Buddhism, which is where the word comes from.
Yeah. But
it has sort of been co-opted by a subset of people, and they kind of made it their own thing a little bit. So like a tulpa is in mysticism, it's the concept of like creating a paranormal being or an object through spiritual or mental powers alone. So like there are these people who typically, so the thing I read about is like these people who typically have tulpas in their lives got to a point where they were like either so lonely or so depressed or like something in their life triggered their need to have human contact when they were denied human contact. And so they created these personalities in their mind that became so real to them that they become almost like physical voices that they can like hear with their ears. And they have like their own separate personalities. Like this is like hardcore LARPing, right?
Yeah.
But like in your mind.
Sounds like schizophrenia and like the Obscuras from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
perfect crossover.
But there are websites. There's one called, like the main one's called howtolucid.com.
Yeah.
Because like getting lucid is like their term for like creating a tulpa.
Oh.
I'll send you the link in the Discord, but it looks like they had the picture of the tulpa that they chose to highlight looks like a juggalo.
Oh man. Okay, so what kind of tulpa would I create?
Yeah. But the thing that like got me thinking about this, and the thing that was like to me like interesting or super fascinating about this is like it's something you physically like you create to the point where you feel like it's physically real. Like you can't see it, but like it lives inside of your mind, but it also exists outside of you to an extent. And there are people who have their tulpas meet each other and they become friends.
What?
But it's like completely separate from the lives of the people who have created the tulpa. Like they could not be friends, but their tulpa could. Like they could have like romantic connections with each other, but like the main people who have these tulpas like don't see themselves as having had that romantic relationship.
So it's like
either.
a shared hallucination.
Almost, yeah.
Weird.
But some of the language that we grew up hearing about in our religion was, you know, like feeling the spirit or hearing the voice of the spirit or whatever. And, you know, we have certain origin myths and things like that within our religion where people have claimed to hear voices and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. At first I thought it might have been a little like they just made it up. But then I'm like, but if this kind of thing exists, it doesn't mean they didn't hear a voice. It just means that like they could have just created it themselves to the point where they thought they heard a voice, right?
They like tulpa themselves without even knowing what a tulpa is.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. So like you can convince yourself of anything.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's
Right.
how people pass like lie detectors, why they're not like admissible in court anymore, is because you can convince yourself that anything is true. You can completely make it in your mind, but to you, it's 100% real.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, the thing that's like a little frightening to me is like, because this kind of thing can happen. And if I don't know, like I'm looking at this Tulpa website and it's like, if you want to learn more about Tulpas and eventually create one of your own, you'll have a lot of reading to do. And I'm like, well, I like to read. I want to know more about this, but I don't want to come out the other side with a Tulpa.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, do I stop now or do I just keep going?
And do you have to like buy into the reality of tulpas, or like can you convince yourself of the delusion if you know it's delusion beforehand?
It's almost like lucid schizophrenia.
Yeah.
It just sounds like going to church to me.
Yeah. Okay, are you guys ready? I'm going to teach you how to create a tulpa really fast. Okay. So if you guys don't want a tulpa, skip ahead.
All right. Should I keep my eyes open or closed?
It doesn't say yet. That's not step one.
If you're driving and listening to this, go ahead and keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
No matter the instructions, keep your eyes open.
Yeah. Okay. So the instruction says, just to preface it, it says, this involves thinking very hard about interacting with a third person or a person other than your own mind. I'm emphasizing the all caps bolded words.
Okay, good.
Imagine what this person or thing would say and then reply to it.
Okay, so I'm thinking about a third person that's not myself.
Yeah.
And what this third person's saying to me.
Okay.
So
creating a tulpa can also be known as tulpa forcing or tulpamancing. These are just words for the action of manifesting, creating, or otherwise inviting a tulpa into your life. So let's get started.
Okay.
So step one.
Yes.
Plan out your tulpa.
Okay.
So take some time to really think about what and who you want your tulpa to be.
Okay.
I just want it to be Chris because I miss him so much. I want him
here. You'll find that after a while, though, that they sort of start to change what they want to be.
Oh.
It also helps if you physically draw a picture.
Oh, I'm not a very good drawer.
Yeah. Number 2, consider its beliefs and personality. Do you want it to be funny? Someone you can have a laugh with? This is all very important to think about.
Oh, no.
Do you have that? Do you know how you want them to be?
Okay, so he kind of looks like Matthew McConaughey for some reason.
Don't tell me, then that's going to become my Tulpa.
Oh, no. I forced Tulpa to you.
All right. Damn it. Oh, man.
My Tulpa's infecting your Tulpas.
Okay. Well, that step 3 is to practice speaking and interacting with it. So once you've got a clear idea of what you want it to be and what it should look like and how it should act, then you have to practice talking to it.
Hey, Matthew. How are you today?
That's good. The first one is give it a name.
Oh, yeah.
Now open your mind and hear what it's telling you. It should speak its own name to you.
Yeah, he's mostly speaking gibberish the way Matthew McConaughey's characters all do.
Oh, no.
He's inviting me to Bikram yoga.
Oh, tell him no. Tell him to stop.
No, thank you, Matthew.
Oh, there's a lot of steps here. Okay, step 4. This is supposed to be doing it fast. Step 4, practice keeping it in the background.
Hey,
this is where you'll make it part of your life. Yeah.
Okay, he's sitting at a bar in the background.
Okay.
He loves wild turkey for some reason.
He's lifting a drink. Should I toast?
Oh, wait. So turn around.
Okay.
Don't look at it. Okay, then really fast. Step 5, check if it's really there.
Okay, no, there's nothing behind me.
Oh, no. That was the last step.
He's gone! Is the last step really to look back, then look away, then look back quick?
Step 5 is check if it's really there.
It's asking me to go insane.
It says lay back, close your eyes, and let your Tulpa show you something. Don't ask it to show you something in particular. Just say, show me something random.
Hey, Matthew, show me something random. Oh, he's pointing to his scarf.
Wow, that's really random.
One of those puffy scarves. Huh. It's nice.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's how you make a Tulpa real fast.
Oh. I don't think I like my Tulpa very much. He seems like he's going to be pompous and annoying.
Yeah, I want to see your drawing of him, though, to make him real. I need to see how you draw him.
All right, I'll draw him out and we'll put him in the show notes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Check out our Instagram.
Yeah, he'll be up on the Instagram by next Thursday.
He looks a lot like Thick Flubber.
Oh
man. So yeah, that took up most of the time of what I was going to talk about, but I feel like that was worthwhile to fit in the theme of the show.
Well, and it kind of gave us all some homework to go home and make up our own imaginary friends. I said goodbye to mine when I was 5, but I guess I'll say hello to a new one on a new day.
Yeah. It's time to invite Bing Bong back into your life. Because I watched that movie Inside Out, and now I know that every, good childhood memory I had fell into an abyss where they faded away into ashes. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Bing Bong.
Oh man, that's I guess just we laugh about this and how like insane that kind of idea is, but I'm gonna tie it right back into religion. I mean, it's the same thing. Like,
how dare you, Tim?
Somebody's just made all this shit up, and they've done exactly what you're talking about. They've like drawn pictures of them, and they've imagined these personalities for them. They've completely, as a society, have made this group Tulpa of what they think God is, and man, people believe in it.
I just figured it out. Tim is in his angry atheist phase.
Oh, no.
He just found out it's all bullshit. Now he's mad.
I'm not mad. I just think it's really funny that like this is like I don't know.
It's this like trick that's been played on us for thousands and thousands of years.
And not so much that it's a trick, that it's just so like
it's a ruse.
Yeah, it's a ruse.
It's a gambit.
That so many people
My favorite X-Men
have like drank this Kool-Aid and then have gone out and like fought wars over it.
Yeah, but can you blame them? That's how we're hardwired, Tim.
But I didn't think it was that hard for me to like
because
turn that wire off.
Because you're an insect standing on the shoulders of giants. Like the whole Enlightenment...
I'm pretty tall. I don't know what you're talking about.
The whole Enlightenment movement's only a couple hundred years old.
Yeah.
And then even scientific reasoning is only, a few decades old. And even then, even scientists who work in the scientific field, they aren't scientific all the time. They go home and get tricked to buy iPods by commercials.
Right. Or order sweatshirts off of Facebook that never show up.
Yeah, what's the status on that sweatshirt, by the way?
Oh my God. All right, let me see. I know I got the email. I'm going to have to move. Oh, wait. Maybe I can do this on my phone without having to move. Well, okay. So I have my email here. It's coming from Alpha Shipment, order number 5894. It's on the way. Okay. So it says it's on the way. When I go to...
And when was this update?
This was 2 months ago.
Oh, no.
I keep on forgetting to update you guys. So when I click to view my order, like track it, it gives me a 404 message.
Oh, that's a great sign.
And it says this site can't be reached. AlphaConnect.co refused to connect.
But that's like in their name. That's like their one job is to connect you with Alpha.
Yeah.
Right.
So I know I did buy a red hoodie. It looks like a nice hoodie. I can't click on the picture.
Well, did you really buy a hoodie, or did you get grifted for however much money you spent on this fucking thing?
It's more like they stole $40 from Addison versus him buying.
I don't think Drunk Me would spend $40 on a hoodie. I think it was like a cheap $20 China hoodie.
You don't even know how.
You don't even know how much it was.
I don't know. No, but I do have this reoccurring payment to a company.
Yeah, alpha.connect.co is robbing you blind. That's why you can't buy a better microphone. This right here is the reason why the audio quality has been bad, guys. Just so you know.
Yeah, blame China.
He bought a microphone off of Facebook Marketplace, but it just has like the entire Constitution screen printed on it, so like the sound can't get through.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
So if you're a long-time listener, first-time caller, I'm sorry, but I don't think the hoodie's coming.
And you promised us this hoodie would come.
I was excited for it, Drunk Addison was excited for it. When I woke up sober, I was like, I still like this hoodie. I can't wait for it to get here.
Do you still have a picture of the hoodie?
I do.
What's on it again? It's been so long, I forget what it was. I know it was like a saying that took 20 minutes to actually say.
No, this one was just a red hoodie. But because I bought that hoodie, I then got all those targeted ads for more hoodies.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you bought the hoodie that said like my husband drives a lifted truck, so what? Or whatever it said.
He's got tattoos. He kind of scares me. Yeah.
I've only been to the hospital 3 times.
Oh my God, that reminds me. I was at work the other day, and this guy comes up, and he's got this like massive black eye. Just like the whole left side of his face is just completely black. Like his eye is kind of red when you get punched hard and your whole eye turns red. And I was just like, oh man, like this guy got punched or like walked into a doorknob. And then his like significant other, female, comes up and she's got her whole hand like in a cast.
What?
And I was just kind of looking at them putting 2 and 2 together, and I wanted to say something, but I thought, no, I better not. Because I don't want a black eye.
Wow.
Yeah. Her other hand was a
even
bandage.
worse.
Oh man, yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a victim of domestic abuse.
Now, how many like pairs of Dickie shorts do you think this guy owned?
Oh, at least 13.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and there's multiple colors, but they're all the same length. Several like in between the shin and ankle,
Right.
somewhere in there.
With long tube socks to go up to cover his legs.
Yes.
So
Right.
he's like he should be wearing pants, but he likes the convenience of shorts.
Yeah.
Right. And only owns Osiris shoes. But like the puffy ones from like 06.
Yeah.
Oh man. One of my worst experiences, I was a cashier at the time, and this old man, gray-haired guy comes up, and he's got his phone in his hand and earbuds, like what do you call the earbuds with the wires? You just call them headphones?
Earbuds?
Yeah. I don't know. It's 20. I live in the future now. I don't have wires.
Yeah, those earbuds with the wires, and he's got those in. So I think he's like making a phone call or something like that. And so I quickly scan all those items, and I'm like, "Hey, your total is this." And he's like, "Okay." He sets his phone down on the little counter in front of me, and I look down at the phone, and kid you not, he is watching pornography.
What? At Home Depot?
At Home Depot. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, what? I don't want to, I touched all the things that you were touching. And now you're going to hand me money? Like, no. Ah.
Wow.
Like, it's one thing. Okay, watch your porn on your own time. Not at any store. There's no store where you need to watch pornography.
But they said a place and time, and he picked it, and it was in your checkout
right.
line.
I'm sure he went to the bathroom, pulled one off, distributed some literature, fed the ducks.
Yeah. That's gross.
Um,
Did you tell him you're like, if you waste my time, I'll waste you?
And I just had to touch everything that he touched, and it was the most disgusting feeling I've ever had. And I touched money all day. Money's been places I've never been.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like the strip club.
Like a strip club.
That's wild. That dude is just walking around in the world like
broad
that.
daylight in a Home Depot, busy store. Just I better watch the rest of this pornography video, or else. Or else I'll miss out on the storyline.
Right?
Yeah.
Was it happening live? Maybe it was like a cam girl situation.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was some lesbian pornography, well produced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there wasn't little chat in the corner,
You gotta know a lot about.
Well, I picture it's like Twitch.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild, man.
So please don't watch porn in public.
I've gotten into people's trucks, and douchebags
legally
have the DVD players.
Oh, right.
And they're that was the thing 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I've gotten into people's trucks, turned on the key, and instantly had porn playing.
Who drives around watching porn?
Right.
It's distracting. It'd be distracting. You do one or the other. You can watch your porn at the red light, and then you drive. But you can't be driving and watching porn. That should be against the law.
It is they've disabled the action that most of these DVD players that are in cars. The vehicle has to be in park, so there's a park safety switch,
right,
that you can just bypass with a little diode.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So I could be on
That's
the
a
roads
lot of work
with,
just
with
to do it in your car.
I could be on the roads with my precious little daughter and my precious little wife, and this big lifted truck next to me that could roll over me. He's just busy watching pornography.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's like, Trump's America, make it great again. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that ultra masculinity thing of
I watch porn.
Yeah.
Like when you go to a mechanic shop and they have those calendars of scantily clad women.
Right.
I gotta have a tits in my face so I could stay straight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have a weed beanie on.
Oh my God. I don't understand. I think I'm a pretty masculine guy, personally. Debatable. But I think I'm pretty masculine. But I would never watch porn in public.
Yeah. It's a different breed, man.
But
it definitely exists. If 2 of us out of 3 on this podcast have had experience with it.
Oh yeah.
66% of the world is out there.
Well, Chris just draws porn all day, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
He never
So I
watched
do.
it. He just illustrates it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Chris, you got a thought experiment for us this week?
I do. All right. So this week, every street and freeway has a lane that only you can use.
Oh, what an interesting concept.
Yeah. But you have to open mouth kiss a llama whenever you want to leave your house.
No, wait.
Wait, a llama or an alpaca?
A llama.
And point of what do you call it? Parliamentary.
Point of order.
Point of order. What's an open mouth kiss? Is that a French kiss, or do I just like?
I
believe it means anytime your mouth is on their mouth and both mouths are open.
Yeah.
So like
you don't have to do tongue
in the movies where they do the open mouth kisses, but they don't French kiss in the movies.
I don't know that for sure.
I mean, can you even have an open mouth kiss with a llama that's not a French kiss?
I mean, the llama might try to slip tongue, but maybe I'm a virgin, and so I don't.
You're modest
You're like,
about
not
it.
until we're married.
Yeah. Hey, there's lots of people who are married who are still virgins.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Well, your other option is your only mode of transportation is crab walking. So I don't know which one's the lesser of two evils here, but you got to pick. That's how it works.
All right. So
I mean, you'd get like a super ripped core from all that crab walking.
yeah.
But what's the point of having access on the freeway?
Yeah.
So can I drive any vehicle I want as long as I open mouse kiss this llama?
Yeah. On your dedicated freeway or street lane, yeah, you can do that. You just have to open mouth kiss a llama whenever you want to leave your house.
Oh.
So I guess as long as you never go home.
An F-18. Not fly it though, just like taxiing around.
Well, I suppose it depends on what you count as your home. Like if you live somewhere long enough, I'm sure anything will start to feel like home.
Right.
Home is where the heart is.
Yeah. So that's everywhere
Or the llama.
where I am. So I have to bring this llama with me. It's a Tesla truck.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll kiss that llama. It's
Yeah.
probably looking pretty good. It probably works out.
What if you had to
You'd
kiss?
kiss a llama for a Tesla truck?
Absolutely.
You wouldn't?
I'd kiss a
No.
I'd kiss a llama on the penis for a Tesla truck.
Whoa!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it went a bit more extreme, but okay.
You're telling me you wouldn't give one little kiss on a llama's penis for a free?
We talked
Tesla?
about open mouth kisses.
Yeah, but would you open mouth kiss a llama's penis for a Tesla truck?
No,
I would
not.
no, I would not.
Those things are worth
No.
like $200,000.
No, they're only going to be like $60,000.
No way.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a
Yeah,
second.
they already lost most of their value.
When Elon Musk tried to break that window
Oh,
and did break that window.
That's right. And then he like also crashed the truck like a week later
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you can't see like its front is all fucked.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
no, I will not be getting that Tesla truck.
Why does he say Tesla? Do you hear how he
Who,
says?
me?
Yeah, you say Tesla.
Yeah, it's Tesla.
No, Tesla.
It's just
That's
the
what I
same
said.
thing.
Tesla.
Did you get an accent since moving to Portland?
No.
It's his PDX accent.
Say
There's two Z's and it's T E Z
he's typing it in right now.
LUHH.
Tesla.
Tesla.
Yeah, but I'd kiss a llama on the mouth.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially if it comes with a free
All right.
Tesla truck.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, you solved my llama riddle.
The door slides open.
When you open your door tonight, you'll be presented with a gift I've sent to each of your homes.
Did that also
been a
come
long
with
con.
the infrastructure in the entirety of our city? So we have this lane that you promised.
It's magic, Tim. Why do you think you have to kiss the llama?
Tim's dad is the magistrate of all of the civil servants, so he can get that done.
Am I allowed to bring Matthew McConaughey with me inside the Tesla truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you have a choice.
He comes with you everywhere now. It's your Tulpa.
Just be careful, because there can be some scary side effects of those tulpas. I mean, they can have a mind of their own, and you can't stop them.
You didn't talk about any of the bad things, and I've already gone and created Matthew McConaughey rolling around with me in my Tesla.
Oh, I didn't mention the bad things?
Oh, man.
I mean, if you don't keep them in check, they can eventually take control of your life, and then your personality, will be erased forever. But,
Oh, that's it.
As we say every week.
Yeah.
Don't quit your day job.
Don't quit your day job.
Don't quit your day job.
Yeah, so good luck with making tulpas.
I'd kiss a llama on the penis for a Tesla truck.